Okay, yeah, I know. It's almost limit criminal. Yeah, almost limit criminal. Not only what is happening with the AMC, but what is happening in the whole market. So I need to say this, guys. I need to put this message out there. May God help us. Not because of the reasons some of you might think before you clicked on this video, but because of we need to see beyond what is happening in this market. We need to see beyond what is happening with what they want us to believe in. The stock price still dropping like a hot potato, even with no news and nobody selling. All right. Now, let me share this with you. Why am I calling on, people to kind of tough up a little bit, or stand up, or man up, if you will, or woman up, whatever the case? Because if you look at what AMC did yesterday, right after earnings were announced, it jumped to $14. So $14 will be somewhere around here. All right, this is $14. Now, from $14 all the way to today, in just a matter of one day, or 48 hours, you will say, 27%. 27%. What happened? This is a company that have money on hand. That is a company that has the ability to go and make some acquisitions, make some investments, have new streams of income coming up. And for some reason, it's dropping like a hot potato, even if the market is also puking. But what people may not keep in mind or tend to forget is, as long as the bottom line has not changed, then it doesn't really matter. Why? Because we do know that the matter here, or the big issue with AMC, is the short sellers going into something where, some place where only them have the ability to manipulate the price. Because if AMC was being traded the way any other stock is being traded, it wouldn't be dropping like this. It wouldn't even be sitting at this price. You would have to add at least $100 minimum to this current price to see AMC trading at somehow a fair value, given the amount of people still holding and nobody selling. Now, what is happening here is because of the CPI data, and because the CPI data came in and it wasn't as good as the market expected it to be. People kind of digest the information, but the market went went green. The market went green, and all of a sudden, for apparently no reason, because there was no news, there was no market mover, things started to change. Things started to change and they escalated. So what is happening? Well, what is happening is everybody is kind of in panic mode. More panic mode now that we have inflation data suggesting that it may not be the peak, or it may not slow as quick as we want it to slow. And because of that, there are now puts, meaning people are betting on the stock market to go down in an exponential pace. And that means a lot more pressure into the Russell 2000, a lot more pressure into funds, a lot more pressure into the market. And stock like AMC, whenever there is a lot more pressure, it gives more momentum for the shorts to be shorts. And we end up with a market like this. We end up with a price action like this on AMC. Now, the question you have to ask yourself is the following: does this change anything when it comes to the short squeeze? If the answer is yes, then go ahead and do what you need to do. If the answer is no, then try to relax, step back a little bit, and remember that, well, what is happening here with retail investors is also kind of hurting some of the companies, preventing the price from going up. Why? Because look, I shared with you yesterday that Tiger Global, this is a big hedge fund, they will be losing, they lost $17 billion since the beginning of this year. But what people may have not picked up on is the fact that they lost $1.5 billion in 2021 only. That is not a fair amount of money compared to 2022, but there has been bleeding cash this year as the Fed raised interest rates aggressively, with more highs likely. The fund has around $35 billion under management at the start of 2021, the London Clearing House data showed. So if this type of kind of big fund. It's bleeding cash, even without the Federal Reserve increasing interest rates to the most levels as we know is going to come. What do you expect the little short sellers here, to be also kind of taking? Yeah, they're making money on AMC because the price is dropping, but they're bleeding even more money because every kind of favorite stocks out there that they are holding are dropping also, maybe more than AMC for the last 3 to 6 months. So they have to choose at some point, right? They have to choose. And when they choose, despite how low this goes, despite how low the price will be here on AMC, at some point it will put that pressure on them to close the short, because it's either we continue to bleed money and we lose clients and we close doors, or we let these go and we check the box and we get to live another day and to fight another time. That's the big question to me. So I know it hurts. I know it's kind of crazy. I know it's like, how can I even do this? How is it even possible? Well, the thing is, we cannot really change anything, because unless somebody with big pockets goes and destroy the entire dog pools, we can't do much until, if it's not just waiting patiently. Again, I know it's not easy, but if we focus on something we don't have any much control on, then we're going to go crazy. So what I'm doing is I'm just getting patient, man.